Hey guys, TKC here at the Kaijudo channel, here with another episode of Kaijudo News. Today is August 22nd. So first things first, we get another preview card, which was kinda hidden in the strategy articles section, but we got a little bit more insight on the race known as Cyberlords. So we know that Aqua Seneschal is a Cyberlord, and he didn't really look like a Cyberlord. He was kind of like a liquid people kind of thing, but turns out that we actually have this kind of Cyberlord race thing that actually looks like the Cyberlord race from Duel Masters. So the first preview card that they show us is Hokira Council of Logos. Now this card is pretty much similar to a legendary merfolk from the original game, but it's kind of altered and I think it's a lot more balanced this way. But here's the effect. It's a level 5 3000 Cyberlord, and his ability is Master Planner. And at the start of each of your turns, if you have 3 or more Cyberlords in the battle zone, you may draw 2 cards. So what our Illusionary Merfolk did is when you played Illusionary Merfolk, and I think if you had another Cyberlord in play or 2, or I forget what it was exactly. I think it was if you had 1 Cyberlord in play and you played Merfolk, you drew 3 for pretty much the same cost. Now here, you need to have 3 or more Cyberlords on your side of the field, and then you only get to draw 2 cards at the start of each of your next turns as long as you have 3, including this card. It says here, as long as if you have 3 or more Cyberlords on your field, not other. So if you have this and then 2 others, then you're good to go. You draw 2 cards every turn as long as you keep those on the field. So that's going to be the harder part about getting this effect off, but if you manage to keep a field of Cyberlords, you're going to be drawing cards every single turn, and it's really, really good in that sense. So it's also really interesting about this article talking about the Council of Logos, which is pretty much, I guess, this new kind of thing that describes the Cyberlords that look like the ones from Duel Masters. I read into it, and there's a couple more names thrown in there. Finbar we already knew for quite a while now, but that's also Kurian from the original game. It's been pointed out many times before. As well as we got to see Milporo, who was also in the English game in set 10. I doubt the effects are going to stay the same. There's absolutely no way. I mean, Kurian is like a Aqua Hulkus, which ended up being Hydro Spy here. Also, at the very, very end of the article, it mentions something about the Council of Logos using this deep mind probe thing if they really have a hard time looking for the information they seek. So seeing the words deep mind probe together makes me think of Thought Probe from the original game, because also in the Japanese game, it was called Deep Operation. So I think they kind of just like merged the two names together, and it's now called Deep Mind Probe. And if you look at the cards that we know already in base set, it does fit there as Deep Mind Probe. So I'm kind of expecting some sort of draw power spell card similar to Thought Probe in the original game. But it'll just be called Deep Mind Probe. So keep an eye out for that. No one has pointed that out, so I have a good feeling about this. In addition to that preview card, we also got a preview card from Daniel Tack from way back when. Remember him when he released, I believe it was Mighty Shouter and Essence Elf? Well, he's back with a new preview, and this one is called Scaradorable the Hunter. Now, everyone has been hyping this card like crazy, and there's a pretty good reason why, but let's go ahead and go straight to the effect here. It's a level 5, 4000 Chimera. His effect is Intimidate, which is all enemy creatures that are level 2 or less can't attack or block. Now, this is pretty insane. I don't think it deserves the hype that everyone is giving it, because after all, it's only level 2 or less. If you look at the card pool, the only thing that really matters in the level 2 or less are the blockers, like Sunstock Seed, Refi. And I guess it helps against Rush, but considering Rush is a lot more expensive these days, it has to go to turn 4 so that they can play Draglight and Gilliflame, it's actually not as good. I mean, cool, it stops Blaze Belcher, it stops Dracon Weaponsmith, it stops, all those 2-drops, but look at the card, it's a level 5. It's going to take you a while to get to this card. So by the time you get him out, it's probably too late because they'll have Gilliflame and Draglight and all that. So this card doesn't really stop Rush. All it really does is it kind of allows you to go inside their shields when they have those cheap blockers. That's really all I see out of this card. I don't think it is that amazing. I mean, it's decent. It has a crazy effect. It's more than level 4, meaning it can't get Bone Blades and all that nonsense. So in that sense, it's pretty good. But the fact that it's a turn 5 card I feel that it's a bit too late for this effect to actually be worth it. I don't know, this is what I think personally, but we'd have to test this card to actually see how good it is. But overall, it's still a really cool card, and everyone was wondering if this freaky creature from the show was actually going to end up being on a card, and well, their dreams have come true because now it's Scaradorable the Hunter. Now, on the actual news part of the page, there's only one article there, and that is talking about the base set that's going to be coming out September 7th. We already know this. They're just kind of throwing it out there every week to remind people that September 7th is the date you go to get those awesome base set stuff. PAX Prime, I think it's called. I mean, they're getting it way earlier than that. Not way earlier, but at least a week or so. I actually know more than one person who's going now, so that's pretty cool. I have a close friend who's going to be going there all 3 days. I just have to remind him to head to the Kaijudo booth for me, and I'll be sure to get some stuff out of that, hopefully. But basically, this article is just showing off the Sonic Blast and Rocket Storm competitive decks. You know, I think people were wondering if Sonic Blast was going to be for Scaradorable, and indeed it is. So now we get to see here that Tatsurion is the Rocket Storm deck and Sonic Blast is for Scaradorable, which is pretty cool. Now I don't know if this Scaradorable the Hunter card will be inside Sonic Blast. It could be. It's possible. It is only a very rare, and Gilliflame was in the Bull Rush deck, so there is quite a possibility that Scaradorable the Hunter will also make an appearance in there, along with an awesome super rare for each guy. But there's probably going to be a new Tatsurion and a new Scaradorable in super rare form, because we need more of those, right? Exactly. The article also pointed out that it's going to be hitting retail stores as well on September 7th. We already knew about this, but they kind of mentioned some stores that it'll hit, and I don't know if these stores are the only ones they're going to be in, but it's just a couple names to keep note of. So we have Toys R Us, Target, and Walmart. And something that's really interesting is that they mentioned something about a Walmart promo that might be happening. So definitely think about going to Walmart, because Walmart is probably going to have an exclusive promo that you could only get at Walmart if you buy Kaijudo at Walmart. So that's pretty cool. I asked on Twitter if they're going to be also doing it in Canadian Walmarts. I haven't gotten a response yet, but I sure hope so, because if it's only in American, I'll be really sad. Lastly, you can also go to the strategy and articles page to learn more about the water civilization. I mean, the whole theme of this week is water, 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 because apparently the last episode, or what the next episode is or something, is all about the Council of Logos and all this awesome water civilization stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty much a whole article explaining all the different things that you could do with water civilization, so definitely check that out if you like a good read. And other than that, guys, that is pretty much it for this week's Kaijudo news. I hope you enjoyed the news. I definitely did. 2 card previews in the same week. Not complaining. Really, really awesome stuff. And you know what, guys? You guys have a nice day, and I'll see you next week for hopefully even better Kaijudo news. Alright, guys? Wait, don't go yet. I actually forgot something, and I can't believe I forgot about it. But if you go to the goodies page on the Kaijudo website, there are actually new wallpapers there, and the very, very last one, I believe, has a picture of Magma Dragon Melgars versus King Poseidon, I think it's called, and those two were both from the original game as well, except King Poseidon was called King Riptide in the original. But in the Japanese, it's actually called Poseidon or King Poseidon. So those 2 cards are another potential 2 cards that are going to be in the base set. I don't know yet. I didn't really check with the list yet to see if they actually fit. But that's just another thing. So go and check out that wallpaper, download it if you like, and that's pretty much it, guys. So for real now, have a nice day, guys. This is TKC signing off. See you later.